It is an all-out search in northern Berks County where authorities are recovering pieces of a Southwest Airlines jet after a deadly accident in the sky. More than a half dozen pieces of debris have been discovered already, and the FBI is asking people in northern Berks to be on the lookout for more.
Investigators say they hope the parts will lead to answers about what caused the plane's engine to fail at more than 30,000 feet above Berks County. The NTSB just spoke out about the investigation. Chairman Robert Sumwalt held a news conference at Philadelphia International Airport just moments ago. He says investigators are still examining the site where a fan blade broke off. Sumwalt says there are signs of metal fatigue on the equipment, and the NTSB is trying to figure out if the fan blades were in compliance with requirements that were issued after a separate incident several years ago.
What we have to do is track the history of that blade to be able to determine whether or not that airworthiness directive actually did pertain to this particular set of fan blades.
Well, the plane was on its way from New York to Dallas yesterday when the engine blew. A window was shattered and a woman was partially sucked out of the plane. She later died.
And we're learning more about that woman. 43-year-old Jennifer Reardon was from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She was an executive with Wells Fargo and a mother of two. Her family calls her a leader in her community and says she was full of passion and love. Now to the latest on the search for the debris.
Yeah, the FBI is in northern Berks County right now, where more than a half a dozen pieces of the plane have been discovered so far. Now, this map shows where the parts have been recovered and the path of the flight. Now, debris was discovered in North Heidelberg Township, Jefferson Township, and in Penn Township.
Which is where we find Katira Winfrey live with more tonight. Katira?
In the field this morning, investigators moved from spot to spot, picking up plane debris. It ranged in size from small to large, and many of it covered in scratches and that signature blue paint. These mangled pieces of a Southwest Airlines plane that had an engine blow over Berks County Tuesday weren't hard to identify. On one, you can see the letters WES.
Oh my goodness, it's a big possibility it could have fell on my house.
Alicia Miller lives in Penn Township and says planes often fly over her home. Investigators found at least 4 pieces on these state game lands off Route 183.
Very scared because I actually hate living in a fly zone, and it concerned me from time to time.
Pieces like this were scattered in fields, farms, and yards in northern Berks. 2 pieces were found at the Heidelberg Country Club in North Heidelberg.
Later today, a second piece was actually found by one of our guys. So,
was it as big as the first piece?
No, it was a little different. It was more like casing. It was blue. And we brought it in, gave it to FBI.
When employees found the first piece, not knowing what it was, they tossed it in a scrap metal pile.
Eventually, in the news this morning, I heard that there were parts firing up there in Bernville, so I was like, maybe I was part of that.
One of the largest pieces landed in this field off Christmas Village Road in Jefferson Township. Another piece nearby took out a small fence.
It's terrible to begin with. It could have been much worse.
Miller says it's been dramatic hearing about the plane debris, but her thoughts are with the people who were on board.
It was just an unforeseen circumstance, and you just pray and hope that comfort for the family.
And as of right now, we haven't heard of any injuries to people from that falling debris. However, we have learned of some minor property damage. Reporting live in Penn Township, Katira Winfrey, 69 News.
All right, thanks, Katira. The head of the local chapter of the Red Cross is in Philadelphia responding to the emergency landing situation. Adrian Grieve, he is assisting with the relief efforts. He's the executive director of the Tri-County Red Cross, and we're told he's working with Southwest Airlines and the NTSB in helping the remaining passengers. We'll continue our coverage of the deadly incident on the air and online at WFMZ.com. You can also sign up to receive breaking news alerts from the 69 News mobile app.